All right, this week in history, let's do it. Welcome back to my early Monday vlog edition for the G1 podcast. I'm GP. Tired as heck, but this cup of coffee is making sure I get through it. Thanks as always for joining me. At the end of this week in history, you're going to be finding some miscellaneous video footage I took throughout the day. Also, I kind of calculated how much money I spend at cafes on a weekly basis. Last week that is, and you'll find out about that at the end of this video if you're still interested. Let's get started though. This week in history, April 18th, 2016 is this year, but of course we're doing the weeks of April 18th through to the 24th in Korean history. Let's get to it. On this week in 1928, the first 10 buses, actually overseen by a Japanese firm, started going a route through northern Seoul. It's a really small route from Seoul Station to Changdeok Palace in Pildong. Not very far. They were all black and had a maximum capacity of 20 people. Really different now. We got blue, green, and red buses that shuttle dozens of meters, thousands and thousands of people on a daily basis, all throughout Seoul and deep into Gyeonggi-do. Jumping to this week in 1955, I'm actually going to play this song in the background right now. Composer/conductor An Ik-tae was awarded the Cultural Medal of Merit by the Korean government. That's actually one of the highest recognitions by the Korean government for an artist. He is, of course, the composer of Egukga, or patriotic song in English. I'm not quite confident that that's a great translation, but of course it is the national anthem. Great. So, in addition to his contributions to Korean culture, he also conducted the Rome, Berlin, and Vienna Philharmonic Orchestras, respectively. Let's get into some more meatier stuff. On today's date, April 18th, in 1875, Korea's first president, Syngman Rhee, was born in Pyeongsan County in what is now North Korea. But I don't really want to talk about that because there's just information all about President Rhee, and he's a really controversial figure. What I really wanted to talk about was something that happened shortly after his birthday. So on President Rhee's birthday, a student-led uprising got kicked off at Korea University. So on his 85th birthday, it was actually 1960. The following day, that uprising had swollen over to thousands of students. They marched on the Blue House, and as they inched closer and closer, their numbers went over 100,000 individuals. When they arrived at the presidential Blue House, they wanted President Rhee's resignation, and when they cried out for that, all they got in return was gunfire. Police opened fire, killing 180 protesters, wounding thousands more. The incident is now known as the April Revolution. President Rhee's 3 terms in office served as the backdrop for that, the powder keg, and it was all finally ignited the month prior, actually, when the body of Kim Ju-yeol was discovered. He was actually a high school student in Masan, and he was, I'm assuming, a protester against electoral corruption. He could have been a bystander. I think he was a protester, though. And he actually died from a fatal impact tear gas canister to the head. And that just kind of goes to show what we were working with at the time here. Police brutality doesn't really quite describe it. It's like suppression of the people. And right now in Korea, you're limited to just one 5-year term. President Rhee had 3 terms and was just entering his 4th, so a dozen years in office. Ultimately, the April Revolution culminated in President Rhee's resignation 1 week after that march on the Blue House, so that's actually next week in history he resigned. Okay, we've went over public transportation, culture, democracy. Moving on to the 21st century. On tomorrow's date in 2002, the Homosexuality Clause, deeming gay and lesbian-related websites as, and I quote here, harmful to youths, was removed from the enforcement decree of the Juvenile Protection Act. Terms related to sexual minorities were actually first formally classified as obscene and perverse in April of 2001 under the Internet Content Rating System, which was adopted by the Ministry of Information and Communication, right? So thank goodness that only lasted a year. That has since been taken off. Flashing forward to last summer, some of you might recall, if you were Soulites, that the rally last year, I don't know if it was it was actually called the Gay Pride rally, but it was canceled and it was back on. It was really confusing. What I do recall was both sides, advocates and foes, rallying at City Hall in one of the biggest events to date. And, that chapter of social inequality is obviously still being written. It'll definitely be something to keep an eye on as we approach this year's rally. That's this week in history, April 18th through to the 24th. What I'm going to be playing next, stick around, is just some vlog footage over the week. And I spent a total of 25,000 won at coffee shops last week doing random work-related things, either for the podcast itself or for my other radio show for TBS EFM. What's coming up? Oh, yeah. Hopefully be doing some more recordings. I recorded the first segment of what I'm calling Rock Bottom, which is my blank slate on Korean culture. Did that one on ActiveX, the Microsoft plugin, that now defunct-ish Microsoft plugin. You're going to have to wait for that. And those are the updates. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, check out my podcast. It's going places. All thanks to you, though. All right, we're video blogging again. I think this is my good side. I don't really have a good side. Video's not my thing. I'm here at Mori Donuts in Myeongdong, one of my favorite donut places. This radioactive looking thing is a green tea donut. And the reason I'm video blogging today is actually, I'll finish this up later, but a lot of freelancing and things that a culture journalist does, things that I do, revolve around working at cafes. So when you hear an end product, that's all you hear is the end product. You don't see the time put in working at cafes. And I'll tally up the amount of money I spend at a cafe on a weekly basis, or actually just for this particular week, and I'll let you know in a future video. Right now it's Tuesday, and I just spent 6,000 won on coffee and donuts. Yesterday I spent 4,500, so we're at 10,500. And it's only the second day of the week, so I guess we'll see you back again on Monday morning. Yo, it's Wednesday. Got another coffee. This is a Nitro over at Brewworks here in Gyeongnidan. Yeah, pretty much just vlogging this because I'm wearing my awesome Sriracha t-shirt. I'm here with my good friend Korean Alex. He's a YouTuber. Link is in the description below. And it is the day of the week. Thursday. We're on a second floor cafe in Hapjeong, getting work done, having some coffee. And this is going in my video where I keep a tally of how much money I spend at cafes. Oh, yeah. Daytime, we're feeling severely underemployed, but this is freelancing life. Sometimes it's a crazy 12-hour grind. And sometimes you're just chilling out on a rooftop and no one else is around you, but that's it, pretty much.
It's a beautiful day outside.
It is.
It's an outdoor cafe in a half greenhouse.
Any other final words?
Yeah. I'm sure. Here, I have some.
Good morning. So it's Sunday and I'm on my way to Daya TV to film one of the first episodes of the upcoming podcast with Alex of the Korean Nerd. And I messaged him like, you want some coffee? I'm gonna get some coffee on the way. And he said, I need a beer. It's 10 a.m. So we're at the GS, we're gonna grab him a beer. Beer acquired, Cast Light. And if you watched Alex's Korean Nerd video, you'll know that Cast Light has the least calories in terms of Korean alcohol per unit of booze. I forgot what it was, but he should have no qualms. Good morning. Say hi.
Good morning. George.
Yeah.
Don't choke.
Oh, that was bad. You screwed that up. Okay, so we're at Daya TV in Hongdae, and I came halfway across town. What I got with me, I don't know how well you can see this is my bag. Sriracha water bottle. I have 2 mic stands, cables, my laptop. And on top of that, I have a multi-track recorder and 2 condenser mics. I carried all that here to the recordings and test equipment and use some of their stuff as well. And I pretty much have to do this every time I record unless someone comes to me. And this is only a setup for 2 people. But when I actually end up recording with 4 people, I'll have to bring twice as many condenser mics and cables, obviously, and mic stands. And that's going to be a pain in the ass, but you do what you have to do.